That nagging feeling that you get in the middle of the night that life is passing you by, that's you crying out for help to you. Because what you want, what everybody wants really, is to really live and to be yourself and bring all your talents and gifts into play. Because even if your past was full of hardship and trauma, and that's just about everybody here, you know on some level that you're meant for something better. If you have a voice inside that says, that's stupid, don't listen to that voice. Don't stuff down any longer that feeling you've had all your life that you were meant for something good. You need your days to be purposeful. You need this. We all do. We need to know that all this work, all this suffering and struggle and paying rent and losing loved ones and then building up our lives again, that it's all for something. We need that because it's true. And if you were abused or neglected when you were a kid, chances are very high that your sense of purpose was knocked out of you or squashed down or drained out or ridiculed out of you. But no more, okay? It's time to take this need for purpose and meaning in your life very seriously, and we're going to talk about that right now. I'm Anna Runkle, also known as the Crappy Childhood Fairy, and I teach people how to recover from those draining effects of childhood PTSD and to get back your clarity and your big heart and your purpose. And I want to start by reading you a letter from someone I'll call Tracy. She says, "Dear Anna, I'm looking for some help coping with my CPTSD. I grew up in a severely toxic house where, due to lack of money and also abandonment issues, I still live. I was bullied severely in both primary and secondary school. My father is a narcissistic alcoholic, and when I was growing up, I was often a victim of his ongoing abuse. I thought after high school everything was starting to become normal to a degree, and I put all my meaning into younger members of my family, and they gave me a purpose. But now, as with everything, they're growing up, and I find myself having to face reality. I've been seeing a therapist, and she's helped me immensely, but I don't know how to make the next move. I don't know my life's purpose. I don't have the motivation to think what my career could be. As a kid, when someone asked me what I wanted to be, I always just said, happy. I want to be independent and have a happy life, but I don't know how to. If I even think about moving out or away or even signing up for a course, I go into blind panic. And how do I know I want to work in a certain area, like teaching, for example, if I don't have experience? Good point. I know I'm looking for guarantees that life doesn't give, but now I just need advice. I don't know how to make the next move. My head is like a bag of cats." I chose Tracy's letter just because I especially love that phrase. My head is like a bag of cats. Could you help? Thank you, Tracy. All right, Tracy, you came to the right place. And I am so sorry you had to grow up that way. That is not fair. And I just don't think anybody could have gotten through that without ending up with some sort of hollowed out space where their sense of purpose was supposed to be developing. I think that's really normal. That's a normal reaction to an abnormal set of circumstances. So first, I just want to, thank the younger you who was able to sort of partition off the part of you that has purpose to keep that intact. The fact that it's not connected right now kind of points to that something in you kept it safe. All this bad stuff was happening and you didn't get damaged. So great job on that. Now it's time to bring this part of you back online where you get in touch with your purpose. So this is a totally good problem for you, Tracy. So I'm going to tell you some tips, all right, for how you can start to bring this back online. One is learn to re-regulate and stay regulated so that you can handle whatever you're experiencing in life. When you can stay regulated, a huge proportion of your CPTSD symptoms, they just go away right away once you can stay regulated. A lot of the problems are problems that build up in your life because you were dysregulated. You've been avoiding things, you've been, holding back from people, you've been walling yourself off just because the dysregulation was going to kick in and be so sort of disabling that unconsciously you learn to sort of avoid situations that would bring it up. So that's my first thing for you, is time to learn to re-regulate. There's a lot of ways that you can do that. I teach a method. It's always linked in the description section below all my videos, the daily practice. So people can go look at that if they want to. The second thing is to start looking for signs of what your gifts might be. Now, gifts and talents are two different things. Talents are things that you're good at. Maybe you have a natural ability in something. A gift is something a little different. You might not even be good at it yet, but a gift is something that you're endowed with that is for the benefit of everyone or the world, usually for other people. And the signs that a gift is at work, they have to do with feedback that you get. So ask yourself, is there something that people tell me over and over again that I did that benefited them? So it might be, when I come hang out at your apartment after work, I just always feel so safe and at home and like I can be myself. Okay, that's a sign that a gift is at work. If people say, when you tell your story, I all of a sudden just want to change my life. That could be a sign that a gift is at work. Or when you taught me how to read, you gave me so much confidence that I knew that I could go on to the next step. That would be a sign. So you don't have to know right now. You're young, right? You don't have to know yet what your gifts are, but they will begin to start showing you signs, and it will be through what other people tell you benefited them. You'll be hearing these things over and over again, so you're going to start listening for patterns. Now remember, you got to try things in order to generate people's experience of you. So for you to get feedback from 10 people that something was helpful, you might have to interact with many people to, just start just doing what you do. The jobs that you're attracted to might sort of take you in that direction. But here's a sign that you're not using your gifts. You just feel so drained and not seen and miserable. And who hasn't had a job like that? Not all jobs involve gifts, and that's normal, and that's actually okay. Your gift doesn't have to be the way that you make a living. Some people's gift, for example, has to do with like silent contemplation. That usually doesn't pay very well. Or some people are very perceptive, or they have a big vision. Those are things that sometimes can be used in a job. Many gifts can be used in a job, but they're not always directly the thing that makes you money. So allow yourself to open up your mind that there's going to be the job that you do to make a living, and then there's going to be this gift, and the gift may show up everywhere in your life. It may just be in one part of your life. It might be in your job and a volunteer gig. So you mentioned teaching, for example, and it sounds like you have a hint that maybe you'd like to be a teacher. So that would be something that you should go and try. And you don't have to know that your next step is going to be fruitful. Like nobody knows that. Actually, a few people. I think like Mozart knew, like he wrote Twinkle Twinkle Little Star when he was 7. So okay, Mozart goes in some other category. Most of us we don't really know what we're cut out for. We don't know what we're meant to do. So we try things. And that's what youth is a great time to try many things, to have a lot of different jobs, to do volunteer gigs, to go hang out with people who do things that sound interesting. It's smart to be just a little bit open-minded. Like, you never really know. These gifts are always evolving in us, and they're going to show us where they take us. And that's the beautiful thing also about gifts, is they sort of have a life of their own. And when you start making way for them by trying some different things, staying regulated, because you know what happens if you have CPTSD and you get dysregulated and things trigger you, you could be out there doing your gift. Let's pretend it's Mozart, right? So finally, he's out there playing his Requiem, and he gets all triggered and goes into CPTSD, and he can't play, and he gets fired, and he's not allowed to play anymore. So that can happen. So for people with CPTSD, the great tragedy is that dysregulation prevents us from developing our gifts. Also, in many cases, the situation at home, the chaotic household, the parents who are antagonistic to you, or just completely not present. If somebody's meant to play the piano, somebody's going to have to teach them the piano. Somehow they've got to learn that. So a supportive environment does that. Now with gifts, your job is to figure out what they are by trying them. And when you're in your gift, they're going to make you fill up with more sense of purpose. That feeling that I started this video talking about, that feeling that life is passing you by, all of a sudden, this is what hits the spot on that. Yes, it's nice to have more money or a great relationship or something, if you can put that together. But whether you're in a relationship, whether you have money or not, being in your gift is going to bring up that sense of fulfillment in you. And honestly, fulfilled people who are being purposeful in their lives tend to have an easier time with other people. They're fulfilled. They're not agitated all the time. They're not sad so much. They're not clinging to other people like, come on, why don't you make me feel better? They can't. You got to be in your gift. So you know that. You mentioned that. And the question that people ask kids is, what do you want to be when you grow up? But that's not the total question. Yes, it's nice to have a profession. But in youth, I think the thing you want to be is somebody who experiments with many things to see where your gifts shine. They will show themselves to you in the way that people respond to you. It's good fun. It's actually a great joy, even doing jobs that turn out to be a dead end. Sometimes there were things that I thought were my gift, and I gave it a try. Like, it sounded so right. I was good at it. It just seemed like it should be my gift. But when you're doing something that's not your gift, it's just a dud. It's not going anywhere. You just feel like the energy is draining out you. When you're using your gift, I tell you, when I'm making a video for you, which I'm pretty sure is kind of me and my gift, I end up, you see I have a cup of water here all the time. My body gets hot. I get hot, and I'll drink like a quart of water making a video, and it's just like evaporating off of me like a cloud. I'm on fire when I'm doing these videos for you because I'm in my thing. I'm doing what I was meant to do, I think. I think I haven't got it perfect yet, so I'm still working on it. I'm willing to just keep showing up and trying. It might be quite an evolution from where I am right now to where I'm going to go. I don't know. I'm going to find out. And how I'm going to find out is the next thing I'm going to suggest to you, is that you use my daily practice. I always say this, and I mentioned this, earlier when I was just like, learn to re-regulate. But the other thing about the daily practice is it helps to quiet down the agitated, angry, fearful thoughts in you that would ordinarily make you sort of collapse and avoid life. When you have less fear and less resentment, you feel courageous to try. Your mind is clearer, you're perceptive. You're not so shut down. And I always say, like, when you have active CPTSD, it's a little like wearing headphones with like heavy metal music playing really loud, but you're trying to pretend that that's not going on and that you can hear people, but you're a little shut out of it. So that noise comes down and you can start to be perceptive, so that you notice the effect that you're having on other people. And you can tell when there's sort of just like a dud, like a comedian on stage getting no laughs. They call that dying on stage, right? That's what it feels like when you're not in it. And when you are in it, it's just like, it just feels good. Everything flows. There's a heat to it. There's a goodness to it. And it feels satisfying. So that's what you're meant to do. And your job might be something not that connected to it, but that pays the bills so that you can have a place to live and have food and do your gift. Many gifts are like that. Some people are artists, but that's not how they make their money. Some people are very charitable. That's their gift, is they go and they comfort. They can't walk by a homeless person without engaging with them and caring about them. Well, that doesn't pay anything, does it? So don't worry about that. You're going to make a living somehow. And as a person using gifts, that's going to come to you easily too. So I hope that helps you, Tracy. I'm really excited for you. I want you to be using your gifts because they give you power. And I want you to have the power to take your next steps to get out of that family of origin home. You're still living with the abuser. And I realize that, especially in 2020 and 2021, like, there are a lot of extenuating circumstances and it's necessary to live with family. But as soon as you possibly can, I think you're going to love getting out of that house and having a great big blue sky above you of what you can be and who you can be, and to start the process of no longer being defined by what happened to you, but rather by who you're meant to be. So if any of you have questions for me, write to me at hello@crappychildhoodfairy.com and put in the subject line, Ask the Fairy, so I know it's for this. And if you like this subject, I have a video I'm going to recommend to you next, right here, that's about the 5 phases of healing. The 5th one is the development of your gifts. It's the culmination. And I will see you very soon.